Hi guys, it's Tara from the Amazon region in Peru. It's the 24th of September 2022 and my neighbors have just decided to bring down a tree, so it's a little noisy around here. Yeah, I'm talking about the video that I wanted to introduce, the video that I'm just getting together here, and of course I don't want to give up on giving my thoughts that I'm not good enough, or that I can't do this properly, or can't talk fast enough, or my brain's not working, or anything like that. You know, that's all stuff that keeps me down there. So I'm going to keep plowing on, and I hope that people will be okay with that. So I think we have to live what we believe, we have to practice what we preach, otherwise our words are empty and hollow. So this is one of the things. And I was thinking of the things that I've been really enjoying in my life. One was the trip to Machu Picchu recently. Recently, it's already nearly 15 years ago. So that was one thing. But now I'm actually thinking of another thing that I've really enjoyed all my life, which was geology and the past, how the Earth talks to us about what happened in the past, the history of things that we find in the earth. And when I was a young kid, ever since I was a child, my father would encourage us to look in the earth for remains of all sorts of things, really. I don't know exactly how he did it or where I got it from, but when I was about 3, I presented him with some urns, ceramic urns that with ashes that were found in our garden. We lived in a big piece of a villa in a hillside which looked out over Germany. So I was born in Holland, and my family had this property for a couple of generations. During one of the ice ages, the ice came down from the North Pole, slowly creeping down over the north of Europe, and it made a big push, escarpment in the middle of Holland, and north of that ran the Waal, which is a big river that came from Germany, part of the Rhine, and my city, Nijmegen, was just on the edge of that escarpment. And when the Romans came from Italy before the birth of Christ, they pushed up north towards to conquer Europe, and they came as far as that escarpment. They couldn't go any further above. North of that, the tribes would get them with the river, and they picked them off as they tried to cross the rivers. So the Romans made a settlement there for quite a while, and I lived just below that settlement, and they had thrown a lot of rubbish down there, and sometimes I found special ceramics that had Roman inscriptions, and when I took it to my father, he was very pleased, and it really encouraged me, and it made me interested in the history. When my grandmother moved into her house a little bit above, on top of the ledge, the escarpment, they were just digging up all the ground there and found all these rooms from the regiment, from the Romans, and a lot of things were dug up, and the rubbish was left in our garden, and a lot of them were roof tiles that they made from ceramic roof tiles from the Romans in Holland, and I found one roof tile which had a big foot in it, because somebody walked on it when it was still wet clay, and that later became a kind of a study for how they walked and used their feet. So yes, when I went to Peru, I had quite a lot of study that I had already done about the antiquities that were there, the sacred spaces, the things that might be found, and I did go and look for them. When I sold my house, settled with my husband, I went over to Peru with a bit of money, and I ended up traveling on and off for 2 years. I also bought my house in that time, and sort of be set up. And as I was traveling around, I went to the different places that I had been thinking about, like Ika and Nazca, which I will do a video over another day. So all of this was just fascinating. Nazca and aliens or flight, or many things that were found that you couldn't have done with the technology of 1,000 or 2,000 years ago, as we thought it was, the history, the technology that we did have. But maybe, it's not as cut and dry as some people would propose. I think there's a lot more. That's why I thought Eric von Däniken was very interesting, because he was starting to open up this whole thing that the aliens had been here before and had given a lot of knowledge and information to the people that were living there and on the earth, and maybe even bring the people here that our ancestors from long ago. So I've always been very, very interested in all these things all over the earth. And here I present a little bit of little things that I discovered by myself, and some things that I discovered by finding out about it from some videos that I found kind of confirming about the vastness of our experience on this earth and the vastness of space and all the different forms that have been happening. So enjoy. I start here with Lake Titicaca, a very special place. I spent some time living in Copacabana and visited it quite a few times. Here I'm above the lake. Jamie went with me for a walk in that instance. He traveled with me for a little while. Here we are walking around the Orca del Inca, close to the Peruvian border. That is an astronomical area. We came to a strange landscape. It looked like a giant people from a distance. Here's the one on the left of that photo, and it looks like a giant lizard. I made a drawing of it, just to express. Yeah, I wonder what made those creatures fossilize on the spot. And here it looks like dragon scales sticking out of the ground. Now we're going to Huaraz. It's another area of Peru, and a place where I used to go for a retreat. And I found these creatures on the lawn there in the meadows, like a big crocodile. Really creepy creature. And here is a giant frog. I'm with my friend Martina. She walked with me. Here I'm walking by Lake Titicaca again and finding some more funny stones. What happened, hey, to make that little face there? Here we are, the Orca del Inca again, and there was a fossilized giant. If it is a giant, we don't know. It's unusual, it's very big. Yes, finding fossils makes me very happy. Anyway, bye bye for now. See you later.